So who is Deacon? Well, he comes from a number of different characters. He's got a little bit of Chow Yun-fat's characters from Hard Boiled and The Killer, the two great John Woo movies. A little bit of Lee Marvin from Point Blank. A little bit of Steve McQueen from The Getaway. A little bit of Charles Bronson from The Mechanic. There's a cold, just mechanical nature to him where he's very professional and just completely targeted on his job, on the assignment. He's not emotional. He's a complete consummate professional, but he just happens to be a criminal. One of the common factors that is in a lot of those characters is this sort of quiet exterior, very stoic. Immediately Ryan O'Neal's character in the Driver movie comes across. He must have said maybe 50 words in that entire movie, but it came across that he knew what he was about. He was a man with a mission, and that's what Deacon is. He's a man with a mission. He's quiet, he's sleek, he's efficient, he's a man of few words because he's a man of action. So he's going to get the job done. I wanted to give Deacon a flaw. I didn't want him to be a perfect, clean-cut hero. I mean, not that he is a hero. I mean, he is a criminal. But I wanted to give the audience and the readers something to cheer for. You know, give him something that he's working for, so that way you follow him along. And yeah, he's going to do all these terrible things along the way, but you want to root for this guy. You want to root for the bad guy. You want to see if he's going to actually get away with it. Because yeah, he might end up breaking into someone's house. Yeah, he might end up shooting someone. He might end up causing a car crash or doing anything that's going to let him get away with it. But in the end, you want to cheer him on because you want to see him get away. You want to see him get the money. You want to see him get away with the suitcase and survive. That's the fun in cheering for a guy like this, is that you know he's a criminal. He's doing things that you can't do, that you don't want to do. But this guy does it and you cheer him on. But he's doing it because he made a mistake, $1 million mistake. He has a debt that he has to pay. He's into the mob for $1 million. And well, I won't get into it now on how he necessarily got into that predicament. That you guys will have to find out later when you read the books. But it'll be a fun journey because, you know, this guy has a lot of money to pay off. It's $1 million. He's got to do 10 jobs, and each job, it's $100,000 that he gets to pay back. So he can get away with one, he can get away with two, and he's got to do it 8 more times. And once that $1 million is paid off, he's scot-free. And he's at least free from the mob, but he still has to make a living. Not that I've ever been a professional criminal, but the idea of being one, because you have to put yourself in the shoes of a professional criminal if you're writing a professional criminal. But we're not living in an age where you can just get away with it. There's cameras on every street corner, there's cameras on ATMs, there's a grid that the government, law enforcement have put out there that prevent people from doing things like Deacon is trying to get away with. You have forensics teams that can pat everything down, and that's the world that Deacon operates in. So he can steal a car, but then they can easily trace it through video cameras on intersections. So he has to always stick by his code, and his code is very simple, is live to get away. The getaways are a given, killings are an option, killings are bodies, and if they can find a hair sample, if they can find gunpowder, then they can trace you, and if they can somehow get a trace of you, that means you exist. And if you exist, then they can look for you, they can find you. He doesn't want to be found. He wants to pay his debt, and he wants to disappear. And the whole series is going to be quick, action-packed, fun reads. They're not going to be epic novels. they're going to be in the tradition of the old pulp novels, where we're shooting for 40 to 50,000 words. I'm going to make it a page turner. I want the reader to sit down, start with chapter 1, and next thing they know, they're on chapter 7, and then they can't put it down, and then they sit down another time, and next thing you know, they're in chapter 22, so that it feels, the pacing of the reading echoes the pacing of the book, of the action in the book, so that you're going through everything as quickly as Deacon is going through. It's going through one night of one job that's supposed to be easy, deliver one suitcase from A to B, and then Deacon gets caught up in a number of things that he has no control over. And then as the reader, hopefully you just say, you know what, this is pretty cool. I want to follow this guy, because he's not the nicest guy in the world, but it's kind of cool to see him get away with it, because, well, it's always cool to see the bad guy get away with something, and he's not really that bad. He just shoots people. And we all want to shoot somebody. Not that we're condoning that type of behavior. Don't shoot anybody. Shooting's bad. No, really, it is.